Hello everybody and very welcome. Today we are going to learn how to sort collected numerical data according to multiple categories. Let's jump right in with the lesson overview. Just a quick recap of what we said we're going to learn. We are going to learn how to sort data when you have collected multiple sets of data. Now, let's just look at what multiple sets of data are. Now, multiple data sets are obtained by asking multiple questions. Now, this seems confusing, but let's look at an example. We're going to ask questions such as, what is the average height of children in grade 8? What is their average weight? And how many of them are male? Now, these answers will fall under multiple columns and rows. Now, why is sorting data important? Sorting data makes it easier to see what the results were, such as the highest and the lowest when looking at numerical data, and how many pieces of information were obtained or how many people actually participated in your study. Now, this makes it a lot easier to see the trends and the averages when processing your data. Now let's look at a quick example. First, I'm going to read the question, read it with me, and then we'll look at what they want to know. Diane wanted to know how many students in the surrounding school identify as male and how many identify as female. The following is the data that was obtained. She also wanted to know how many students are left-handed and how many students are right-handed. Now you can see that the data that was obtained is shown in this table. Now moving on to the questions. Our first question. Sort the data from high to low when looking at the left-handed students. Now here you can see you will have to do two things and look out for two things. Firstly, from high to low. This can easily be confused with from low to high. And then because you have a lot of data in the table, you must notice that it says left-handed students. So let's go to our table and encircle a few things that will make it easier. Now I'm just going to use orange to encircle the left-handed column so we know which data we are working with. And just from high to low. Now I'm going to write the answer at the bottom of this slide. Okay, so from high to low. Our highest number is 607. So let's write that down. Then I'm going to just put a check mark next to it to say that we have already looked at this number. Then our second highest is 495. So let's write that down. Then looking at our third number, 448. And our final number, which is 155. So we've done the first question. Now, looking at our second question, it says, sort the data from low to high, looking at the right-handed students. Let's go back to our table. Now we are working with the right-handed students, and I'm going to indicate this column with green, so we know which set of data we are working with. Now, again, remember, low to high. So our lowest number is 459. So let's just start off with that, 459. Then moving on, we see we have 658. Then we have 994. And lastly, we have 1,340. So, second question done as well. Now, our third and final question. Which school has the least amount of learners? Now, how are we going to determine this? Because they give us the amount of females and males in each school, we can simply add these two together, and then we know how many learners are in each school. Now, I'm just going to quickly do the calculation. Please do it with me and check me as well, and then we can determine from that calculation which school has the least amount of learners. So, for school 1, I'm just going to write the answers here on the left. School 1, school 2, school 3, and school 4. So, school 1 has 1,835 learners. School 2 has 1,106 learners. School 3 has 614 learners. And school 4 has 1,601 learners. So, the least amount of learners we can see is school 3 with 614 learners. So let's just write that down. With 614 learners. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all again next time.